we know that sex sells. Okay, it's always been the case, hasn't it? Right, sex sells. Even now, you put a picture of a great-looking guy, a lovely-looking woman on an ad, right? It's going to attract people's attention. It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course it does. Of course it does.
Right. You know, we are now becoming more aware of, I suppose, right and wrong and boundaries. I mean, you look at, hey, look at James Bond, how that's changed.
Yeah.
Bond is a popular topic on this podcast.
It is.
Okay. But you see now, how the James Bond films were with, when it came to sexism.
Yeah.
That's just one example how things have changed from there.
Yeah.
But undeniably, sex still sells.
Of course it does. I mean,
and
it's good to look at adverts on TV,
Yeah, exactly. Now, there's a new calendar that's come out, which has been actually out for quite some time. And what it does, it's a calendar that puts naked glamour models alongside fish. I'm talking about fish, yes, fish in the sea, right? And it launches for the 5th year now.
Sounds like a bit of a fishy tale, this one, Cam. Sorry.
Yeah. And it's a smash hit.
Okay. What?
It's become the most popular calendar in Germany and an Amazon bestseller.
Amazon bestseller?
Yeah. And the author, Hendrik Pohler, don't know if I pronounced that correctly, what he does, he spent 8 weeks catching the fish and taking pictures.
So is he catching the fish and he has a glamour model next to him while he's catching the fish?
Well, that's what. Yeah. I mean, I don't quite know how it works.
So describe how the pictures are. I mean, what do they look like?
Well,
not in graphic detail, obviously.
Okay, no, sure. Okay, there are of models who are, in some cases, are topless and standing in the sea, with holding a fish.
So is it like the classic?
Yes.
Fisherman. I've just caught this big fish shot.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, except all you've got, except it's got a model who's in most cases topless or partially covered, shall we say, holding this. And it says here that his unusual creation has become an Amazon bestseller and the most popular sports calendar in his homeland, Germany. He's 29 years old, and it said it took him 8 weeks to make the latest edition, catching large carp and then asking models to pose with the slippery fish. Now, it's just what you said. Was he going out fishing? And when he went out fishing, did he take this glamorous model with him in the hope that he would catch this
because
fish?
We all know fishermen don't catch big fish all the time and not straight away. So that glamour model would have been sitting with him probably for a good couple of hours before he caught the fish.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And it says each month, the calendar features a scantily clad or naked woman posing with a large scaly carp. It says 2 handlers are at the shoot to ensure the freshwater fish are cared for. Okay.
Or maybe they're kept in a net then, and then then they bring them. That would make sense.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It says I sell fishing equipment for carp anglers, and that was one of my intentions for creating this calendar. The other is, why not combine the 2 best things in the world, beautiful carps and nice girls? Now, there's a phrase there, right, which is pretty dated, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he's carping on a bit, to be honest with you.
Yeah, okay. And, when you look through it, a few years ago, you would have said, yeah, fantastic. You've got to be very careful of what you say now. And I liken this, and I think I've mentioned this before. I remember going back years ago when I was younger, going into take my car into the garage, and you go in the mechanic, and it'd have all they'd have page 3 stuck up on the wall. They'd have all these calendars with naked women up on the wall. Okay,
yeah,
that doesn't exist now. It wouldn't be allowed to exist now.
No, it wouldn't.
And so, where are you on this?
Well, I don't know. On one hand, it's a bit of silly fun. On the other hand, I can understand why people would object to it. I mean, I think that I mean, this is part of the porno industry. I guess it's the more not so serious side, but I'm the women. I don't want to pass any judgment, but perhaps some of these girls actually do the more other stuff as well. I don't know. That is an assumption. I don't. They might do. They might not. So the whole industry is under a lot of scrutiny, I'd say, more so than ever. Before, it was just considered just, maybe a bit of a taboo, maybe it's just a bit dirty, or maybe it's funny. There's the whole stereotypes of the plumber coming in with the big moustache and I come to fix your pipes, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of cliches. It's but actually these days, you are talking about the welfare of people. You're talking about the mental welfare of a lot of the performers. So yeah, I mean, it's under more scrutiny now. I mean, what do I think about it? Well, I wouldn't buy this calendar, to be honest with you. I'm not a fisherman, to be fair, so that might be partly why. But yeah, I think you said the right word though. It's dated. It is dated. I mean, this is akin to having a car calendar with a scantily clad lady draped across the bonnet. It's that kind of thing, which I'm surprised it's an Amazon bestseller. I don't understand who has this up on in their house these days. There's no way I would. I mean, can't imagine your other half would let you have a calendar up like this. No, I'm not saying you'd want to particularly, and neither would my wife either. I mean,
yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah, if I bought this and I put it up, I'd be sort of thinking that I'd feel uncomfortable with it. In fact, it's now actually been it's been over 10 years rather than not 5 years. I got that wrong since this has come out. Okay.
So it's still quite recent though, isn't it? I mean, it
is. Yeah, that's right.
21st century stuff. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'd be interesting to hear to know what other people sort of think of this, and would they, okay, fine, if you're a single bloke, you perhaps haven't got a problem with it, but how many fishermen are going to think, oh yeah, I'll have one of those? Obviously, a lot do.
Maybe.
But again, it becomes into that thing of photography. I mean, the picture. He's a good photographer. He's obviously a good fisherman as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do we do?
I don't know. I think I can understand it would make a silly gif for someone who's a fisherman by someone. I can see that, and then you probably wouldn't put it up. The other thing I just want to be careful of, though, because we do, I think you say sex sells, but I think as general, the human species has a really strange relationship with sex generally. We all treat this as this taboo thing that should be behind closed doors and all this kind of thing, when actually it's something that's incredibly important to the survival of our species. I do find it quite odd that people can actually have sexual intercourse in this country at the age of 17. I believe it's legal, but you can't watch other people having sex on a video until you're 18. I find that quite bizarre. I think I mean, I'm not saying you should lower the pornography. I think maybe higher the sexual intercourse legality to 18. I don't know. It just seems a bit bizarre to me. So I do want to be careful about. Yes, I think this is tacky. I think this is not really anything special, to be honest. But I do worry about us becoming too sort of reclusive. We need to be a bit freer with this topic. I think generally.
These images, they're not pornographic. They are just of topless women, really.
It's soft porn, isn't it?
It's soft porn in a way. That's right. Yeah,
and that bracket,
that's right.
though, isn't it?
And I'm looking at it on Amazon at the moment, and you see the comments. People say, "Yeah, this was great. Very, very delighted with my calendar."
Very delighted.
It says very nice calendar with very beautiful women. I would buy again anytime. Was intended as a gift. Was well received. It's got 5-star. It's got 70% 5-star reviews. So anyway, it just goes to show, before we sort of finish off on this, that sex still sells.
It certainly does. It certainly does.